Chosen one, stay alert. God is sending you a warning about a woman. Do not scroll past this moment too quickly, because something deeply personal and quietly urgent is being placed before your heart, something that may carry a hidden blessing or a gentle protection meant only for you. And if you ignore it, you might miss a turning point that heaven has carefully prepared for your life. There are times when God speaks not through loud signs or sudden storms, but through a soft stirring within your spirit, a quiet awareness that something around you needs attention, and this is one of those moments that must be received with calm, seriousness and tender faith. If your heart feels even the smallest pull right now, then pause and allow these words to rest within you, because they are not random, they are guided with purpose and wrapped in care. There is someone in your life, a woman whose presence feels familiar, yet carries a weight that your spirit cannot fully understand. And God, in His infinite love, is gently opening your eyes so that you may see not with fear, but with wisdom and peace. This is not a message of anger or judgment, but a message of awareness, of protection, and of divine guidance that seeks to keep your path steady and your heart unbroken. God never warns without also providing comfort, and He never reveals without also preparing a way for healing and clarity to follow. Type 2020 if you trust in God. As you continue reading, allow your heart to soften and your thoughts to become still, because what you are about to receive may quietly shift your understanding and bring a sense of calm direction that you have been searching for without even realizing it. If this moment is touching your spirit in a gentle way, take a second to show your support by liking this video, because it helps this message reach others who may be silently struggling and waiting for the same kind of divine reassurance that is finding you right now. There are connections in life that feel warm at first, like sunlight touching your skin on a quiet morning. Yet over time, something begins to change, something small and almost unnoticeable, like a shadow slowly stretching across a peaceful ground. God sees what you cannot always see clearly, and He understands the hidden layers behind every smile, every word, and every intention. The woman being revealed to your awareness is not necessarily someone to fear, but someone whose influence may not align with the peace and purpose that God has placed within your life. Sometimes people carry wounds they have never healed, and without meaning harm, they can unknowingly bring confusion, heaviness, or distraction into the lives of others. God's warning is not about pushing anyone away with harshness, but about guarding your heart with wisdom, about knowing when to step back gently, and when to hold your spirit closer to His truth rather than to human emotion. This awareness is a form of protection, a quiet shield placed around your soul so that you do not lose the clarity and peace that God has been building within you. You may have already felt moments where something did not sit right deep inside, moments where your spirit felt uneasy without a clear reason, yet you chose to ignore it out of kindness or hope. God honors your kind heart, but He also wants you to walk in discernment, to recognize that not every connection is meant to stay, and not every presence is meant to shape your journey. The warning you are receiving is gentle, filled with love, and designed to guide you without causing fear or confusion. This woman may not show her true impact openly, and that is why God is stepping in quietly, speaking to your inner self, so that you may begin to notice the subtle changes around you. You might start to see patterns, small behaviors, or emotional shifts that you overlooked before, and through this awareness, you will gain the strength to respond with calm wisdom instead of emotional reaction. God does not rush you into decisions. He walks beside you, allowing understanding to grow naturally within your heart. There is no need for confrontation, no need for harsh words or sudden distance, because God's way is always filled with grace and peace. Sometimes the strongest step you can take is a silent one, a step that creates space, that protects your energy, and that allows God to work in ways you cannot yet fully see. Trust that He is guiding you, even when the path feels uncertain or when your emotions try to pull you in different directions. A newly revealed 7-second brainwave method, backed by neuroscience and once hidden in classified documents, is helping thousands activate their brain's wealth setting. People refer to it as the money magnet sound because of how quickly it appears to attract abundance. Click the link in the description and comments below to awaken the prosperity already within you. This message is also a reminder that your life carries purpose, and not every influence is meant to shape that purpose. God has placed something beautiful within you, something that must be protected, nurtured, and allowed to grow without interference. The warning you are receiving is not a limitation. It is an invitation to step into deeper awareness, into a place where your spirit becomes stronger, clearer, and more aligned with God's presence. As you move forward, hold on to peace, not fear, and let your actions be guided by quiet wisdom rather than emotional pressure. God is not removing anything from your life to leave you empty, but to make space for something better, something that brings joy, clarity, and true connection. Even in moments of uncertainty, His love remains steady, surrounding you like a gentle light that never fades. Stay calm, stay aware, and keep your heart open to God's guidance, because what He is doing in your life right now is part of something greater than what you can see, something that is leading you toward peace, protection, and a future filled with quiet blessings. The quiet awareness that began to rise within your heart is not meant to fade away, but to grow gently stronger, like a small flame that begins to warm a cold room, bringing light to places that once felt uncertain and unclear. God, in His endless compassion, continues to guide you step by step, not with fear or pressure, but with a calm presence that wraps around your spirit and helps you understand what your heart has been trying to tell you for a long time. There is a reason this feeling has stayed with you, a reason it keeps returning in soft waves, and that reason is rooted in love, not in worry. Type 2020 to claim miracles. You may begin to notice that your emotions shift in certain moments when you are around this woman, not always in obvious ways, but in quiet and subtle patterns that leave you feeling drained, uncertain, or disconnected from your usual peace. These changes are not random, and they are not something you should ignore, because God often speaks through the feelings He places within your spirit, allowing you to sense what your eyes cannot fully see. It is not about blaming or judging her, but about understanding what her presence does to your inner world and recognizing that your peace matters deeply to God. There are times when kindness makes you stay longer than you should, when your caring nature convinces you to overlook what your spirit is trying to reveal, and in those moments, God gently reminds you that protecting your heart is also an act of love. He does not ask you to harden yourself or to turn away with bitterness, but to stand in quiet strength, to honor the peace He has given you, and to recognize when something begins to pull you away from that peace. Your sensitivity is not a weakness, it is a gift, and through it, God allows you to feel truth in a deeper and more personal way. As this awareness grows, you may find yourself reflecting on past conversations, past moments, and even small details that once seemed unimportant, yet now begin to carry new meaning. This is part of God's gentle way of opening your understanding, allowing clarity to come without force, without confusion, and without overwhelming your heart. He reveals things slowly, in a way that protects your emotions while guiding your thoughts toward truth. If your heart feels even a small sense of clarity right now, take a moment to like this video, because it allows this comforting guidance to reach others who may be quietly searching for the same peace and understanding that is beginning to grow within you. There is no rush in this process, no sudden decisions that must be made, because God works in perfect timing, shaping your awareness in a way that feels natural and steady. You are not expected to change everything overnight, but simply to begin noticing, to begin listening to your inner peace, and to trust that each step you take will be guided by His wisdom. Even the smallest shift in your awareness can create a powerful change in your life, leading you toward a path that feels lighter and more aligned with your spirit. This woman may not intend harm, and it is important to hold that understanding with grace, because people often carry their own struggles, their own wounds, and their own unseen battles. Yet even with that understanding, God still calls you to protect what He has placed within you, to ensure that your peace is not slowly replaced by confusion or heaviness. Love does not require you to lose yourself, and kindness does not mean allowing your spirit to become unsettled. A 7-second brainwave practice, once reserved for select circles and concealed in classified files, has now been made public, and many describe it as the 30-second miracle. Experts say it awakens a dormant brain center connected to wealth and blessings. Click the link in the comments below before it is taken down from the internet again. You may begin to feel a quiet distance forming, not as rejection, but as a natural response to the awareness God is placing within you. This distance is not something to fear, but something to accept with calm understanding, because it is part of the protection that God is creating around your life. Sometimes, stepping back is not an act of separation, but an act of alignment, bringing you closer to the peace and purpose that God has designed for you. Type yes to affirm. As you continue on this path, allow yourself to remain gentle, both with her and with yourself, because growth does not come through harshness, but through quiet realization and steady faith. You are not being asked to close your heart, but to refine your understanding, to recognize where your energy is best placed, and to trust that God is leading you toward connections that will uplift you rather than weigh you down. There is something beautiful unfolding within you, something that cannot fully grow if it is surrounded by the wrong influence, and God sees that beauty clearly. He knows your future, He understands your purpose, and He is carefully guiding you away from anything that may cloud that path. Even when you do not fully understand the reason behind this warning, trust that it is rooted in love, and that every step you take in awareness is bringing you closer to a life filled with peace, clarity, and quiet joy. Stay patient with yourself, stay connected to God's presence, and allow this understanding to deepen naturally, because what is happening within your heart right now is not a loss, but a transformation, one that is leading you gently into a place of greater strength, wisdom, and spiritual peace. As this quiet transformation continues to unfold within you, something deeper begins to take shape. Something that cannot be seen on the surface but can be felt gently settling into your spirit like a calm river finding its path through unseen land. God is not only showing you what to be aware of, but He is also strengthening something within you that may have been overlooked for a long time, your ability to discern, to sense truth, and to walk forward with quiet confidence even when emotions try to cloud your clarity. This growth is not loud or overwhelming, but soft and steady, like a whisper that continues to guide you in moments of stillness. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. There may be moments when you begin to question yourself, moments when you wonder if you are being too cautious or too distant, yet deep inside, there is a calm knowing that continues to remind you that this awareness did not come from fear, but from God's loving presence guiding your heart. Doubt can sometimes try to enter when change begins, but God gently reassures you that what you are feeling is not confusion, it is clarity, forming in a way that protects you from unseen burdens. You are learning to trust your inner peace more than outward appearances, and that is a powerful step in your spiritual journey. As your understanding deepens, you may begin to notice that your need for approval or validation from this woman slowly fades, replaced by a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are walking in alignment with God's guidance. This shift may feel unfamiliar at first, yet it carries a sense of calm, freedom, a feeling that you are no longer pulled in directions that leave you uncertain or emotionally unsettled. God is gently restoring your sense of self, reminding you that your worth is not defined by how others respond to you, but by the love He has placed within you from the very beginning. If your heart is beginning to feel lighter and more grounded through these words, take a moment to like this video, because this message of gentle guidance and spiritual clarity may reach someone else who is silently searching for the same peace that is now growing within you. There is a quiet strength rising within your spirit, one that does not need to prove itself, one that does not need to explain or justify every feeling, but simply stands in calm awareness and trusts that God is leading each step. This strength allows you to respond with grace instead of reaction, to remain peaceful even when situations feel uncertain, and to hold on to your inner balance without being shaken by the actions or emotions of others. It is a strength that comes not from control, but from surrender, from allowing God to shape your path without resistance. The presence of this woman may still exist in your life, yet your relationship to that presence is beginning to change in subtle and meaningful ways. You may find yourself speaking less, observing more, and protecting your energy with a quiet wisdom that does not need to be announced. This is not distance created by fear, but space created by understanding, a gentle boundary that allows you to remain kind without losing your sense of peace. God is teaching you that it is possible to care without being consumed, to love without becoming overwhelmed, and to remain connected without losing your clarity. Type 1919 to receive miracles. In this process, it is important to remember that your journey is not about changing others, but about allowing God to shape your own path in a way that reflects His peace and truth. You are not responsible for the actions or emotions of anyone else, and you are not required to carry burdens that were never meant for you. God's guidance is always focused on your growth, your healing, and your alignment with the purpose He has placed within your life. A rare 7-second morning ritual previously hidden in classified documents is re-emerging, and people are already sharing accounts of swift financial advancement. It takes almost no time, yet it triggers a dormant wealth switch in the brain that most people never use. Click the link in the description and comments now to access it before it vanishes. There may be moments when you feel a quiet sadness, not because something is wrong, but because you are letting go of an attachment that once felt familiar. This feeling is natural, and it is part of the process of growth, a gentle release that makes space for something new and more aligned with your spirit. God understands this emotion, and He holds you in it with compassion, reminding you that every release is followed by renewal, every ending by a new beginning filled with hope. You are not alone in this journey, even in moments when your thoughts become quiet and your path feels uncertain. God is with you in every step, guiding you with a presence that is steady, patient, and filled with love. He sees the changes within you. He understands the courage it takes to listen to your inner voice, and He is gently leading you toward a life that reflects the peace you have been longing for. Allow yourself to continue in this awareness, without rushing, without forcing outcomes, and without fear of what lies ahead, because everything that is unfolding is part of a greater plan that is being shaped with care and intention. What you are experiencing is not loss but preparation, not confusion but clarity, and not distance but alignment with something far more peaceful and fulfilling than what you are leaving behind. Stay gentle with your heart, remain open to God's guidance, and trust that every step you take in quiet awareness is bringing you closer to a life filled with deeper peace, stronger faith, and a connection to God that continues to grow more beautiful with each passing moment. As this journey continues to unfold quietly within your spirit, you may begin to notice a deeper sensitivity forming, one that allows you to feel the presence of God in ways that are more intimate and more real than before, like a gentle hand resting upon your heart, guiding you without words and reassuring you without noise. This sensitivity is not something to be afraid of, but something to embrace, because it is through this softness that God speaks most clearly, shaping your thoughts, calming your emotions, and leading you toward a place where your spirit feels safe and understood. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. There is a subtle shift happening within you, one that is slowly changing how you respond to the world around you, and especially to the presence of this woman who once held a stronger influence over your emotions. You may notice that the things that once unsettled you no longer carry the same weight, and the need to explain yourself or seek reassurance begins to fade, replaced by a quiet confidence that rests deeply within your soul. This change is not something you forced, but something that God is gently nurturing within you, allowing your spirit to rise above confusion and settle into peace. You are beginning to see with new eyes, not eyes of judgment, but eyes of understanding, recognizing that not every connection is meant to shape your inner world, and not every voice is meant to guide your path. God is teaching you to listen more closely to His presence than to the noise of human influence, to trust the calm within you rather than the uncertainty around you. This is a sacred kind of awareness, one that protects your heart while also opening it to deeper faith and stronger spiritual grounding. If your heart feels a quiet sense of peace growing within you as you read these words, take a moment to like this video, because this message may gently reach someone else who is searching for the same comfort and clarity that is now touching your spirit. The woman who once seemed central to your emotional world may now begin to feel like a distant presence, not because of rejection or bitterness, but because your spirit is aligning itself with something greater, something more peaceful and more stable. This distance is not created by force, but by understanding, by a natural shift that allows you to remain kind while also protecting the space within you that God is carefully restoring. You are learning that love does not always mean closeness, and that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is to step back and allow God to take the lead. There is also a quiet healing taking place within you, a healing that is releasing past emotions, past confusions, and even past attachments that may have once held you in a place of uncertainty. God is gently lifting these weights from your heart, replacing them with a sense of lightness and calm that feels both new and familiar at the same time. This healing is not rushed, and it does not come all at once, but it flows slowly, like a soft stream that continues to cleanse and renew everything it touches. Type 2323 if you agree. As you move forward, you may find yourself drawn more toward moments of stillness, moments where you can simply be with God without distraction, allowing His presence to fill your thoughts and guide your emotions. These moments become a source of strength, a place where you can return whenever the world feels uncertain or when your heart needs reassurance. In these quiet spaces, you begin to understand that God's voice is not loud or overwhelming, but gentle and steady, always present and always guiding you toward peace. What if abundance had always been influenced by a hidden brain signal, buried in classified records and never fully disclosed to the public? This frequency is now creating new pathways, attracting opportunities and reshaping lives faster than expected. Thousands are already using it to draw wealth like never before. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate the money-attracting brainwave today. The changes within you are not only shaping your current situation, but also preparing you for what lies ahead, for the new connections, new experiences, and new blessings that God has already begun to arrange for your life. By guiding you away from what does not align with your spirit, He is making room for something better, something that reflects His love more clearly and supports your growth more fully. You may not yet see what is coming, but you can feel that something is shifting, something that carries hope and quiet promise. There is no need to rush this process or to seek immediate answers, because everything is unfolding exactly as it should, guided by a wisdom that sees far beyond what you can understand in this moment. Your role is simply to remain open, to trust, and to continue walking forward with the gentle awareness that God has placed within you. Each step you take in this awareness strengthens your connection to Him and deepens your sense of peace. You are becoming more aligned with your true self, the self that God created with love, purpose, and quiet strength. This alignment brings a sense of calm that does not depend on circumstances, a peace that remains steady even when the world around you changes. It is a peace that comes from knowing you are being guided, protected, and loved in ways that go beyond what you can see. Stay close to this feeling, nurture it, and allow it to grow, because it is leading you toward a life that is more peaceful, more clear, and more deeply connected to God than anything you have experienced before. As this gentle transformation continues to deepen within your soul, something even more sacred begins to unfold, something that feels like a quiet awakening, where your heart no longer reacts the same way it once did, and your spirit begins to rest in a peace that feels steady and unshaken, even in moments that once brought confusion. This is not something you have created by your own strength, but something that God is forming within you with patience and love, guiding you into a place where your inner world becomes calm, clear, and protected from anything that does not belong there. Type yes to affirm. There is a growing stillness within you now, a kind of stillness that allows you to observe without becoming overwhelmed, to feel without becoming consumed, and to understand without needing to control every outcome. This stillness is a gift from God, and through it, He is teaching you that true strength is not found in reacting quickly or holding tightly, but in remaining grounded and trusting that He is handling what you cannot see. The presence of this woman, which once stirred emotions and uncertainty, now begins to feel like something distant, something that no longer reaches the depth of your spirit in the same way. You may notice that your thoughts about her become quieter, less frequent, and less intense, not because you are forcing yourself to forget, but because your heart is naturally releasing what it no longer needs to carry. This release is gentle, filled with grace, and guided by a deeper understanding that God is placing within you, helping you to see that your peace is far more valuable than any connection that brings confusion or emotional heaviness. You are not losing anything that is meant for you, but rather being guided away from what no longer serves your growth. If your heart is feeling a sense of calm and quiet strength rising within you right now, take a moment to like this video, because this message of peace and spiritual clarity may reach someone else who is silently walking through a similar journey and waiting for this kind of reassurance. There is also a deeper trust forming within you, a trust that does not depend on visible proof or immediate answers, but rests fully in the presence of God and His perfect understanding of your life. You are learning to lean into that trust, to allow it to guide your decisions, your thoughts, and even your emotions, knowing that God's way is always filled with wisdom and care. This trust becomes a foundation, something that holds you steady even when situations around you feel uncertain or unclear. Type 1919 to receive miracles. As this trust grows, you begin to see your life from a different perspective, one that is no longer centered on what others are doing or how they are behaving, but on what God is doing within you. This shift is powerful because it frees you from the need to understand everything around you and allows you to focus on the peace that is being built inside your heart. You are no longer pulled into emotional patterns that once drained you, and instead, you stand in a place of quiet awareness where your energy is protected and your spirit remains steady. The woman who was once a central figure in your thoughts may now feel like a passing presence, someone whose role in your life is slowly coming to a natural close. This does not require any dramatic ending or painful confrontation, because God's way is gentle and filled with peace. Sometimes, the most meaningful changes happen silently, without conflict or explanation, as hearts simply move in different directions under God's guidance. A concealed brainwave, once stored in classified files, is said to ignite strong prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch in your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. You are also beginning to understand that your journey is not defined by who stays or who leaves, but by the peace and purpose that God is building within you. This understanding brings a sense of freedom, allowing you to release any lingering attachments without fear and to step forward with confidence, knowing that everything meant for you will remain and everything not meant for you will gently fall away. There is a quiet joy beginning to take root within your spirit, a joy that does not depend on circumstances or relationships, but flows from your connection with God. This joy is soft and steady, like a warm light that continues to glow even in the quietest moments, reminding you that you are not alone, that you are being guided, and that your life is unfolding exactly as it should. As you continue forward, allow yourself to rest in this peace, to trust in this process, and to remain open to the new blessings that God is preparing for you. You may not yet see what lies ahead, but you can feel that something beautiful is forming, something that reflects the love, care, and wisdom that God has been pouring into your life. Stay gentle with yourself, stay close to God, and continue walking in this quiet awareness, because what is unfolding within you is not just a change, but a transformation, one that is leading you into a life filled with deeper peace, stronger faith, and a sense of purpose that will continue to grow with each passing moment. As you continue walking in this quiet transformation, something even more profound begins to settle within your heart, something that feels like a deep and lasting peace, the kind that does not fade when circumstances change, the kind that remains even when memories try to return and stir old emotions.